Challenged with buying a Japanese roadster for under £2,000, Jeff from the Classics World team spent £2,300 and bagged himself a Honda Del Sol VTi. But what's this rare 90s sports car like to live with?
Now initially, I was looking on auction sites, things like that, and we found a nice tidy black ESI. Now unfortunately we were outbid on that one, but then this one popped up on Gumtree and I thought, oh, it's nice and local, I'll go and have a look. And as luck would have it, it's not an ESI, it's a VTi. So it's got the B16 158 horsepower engine, a UK spec car, a manual, quite rare, yeah, a bit of a unicorn really. Now getting a VTi meant there are a few compromises. There's quite a lot of fiberglass or bodgery in these rear arches. You might have noticed there's no rear spoiler on this. The VTi did come with a rear spoiler, but the first owner, I'm told, preferred the look without, so he managed to find a tailgate that didn't have a spoiler and fitted that. The problem being that all this sort of touching bits in, changing panels here and there, means that pretty much every panel on this thing is a different shade of blue. Now it's a Captiva pearl blue, a whole lot of shades of it. These Descent wheels are not too bad, but they really, for me, they belong on a 90s Polo and not this CRX. It's a Targa top, it does leak a little bit. You can see that the seals are perished a little bit, but to be honest, it's not the worst. There's a few drips, but the carpets are dry. So yeah, it's cosmetically challenged, but you'd pay a lot more money than we did for a really nice example, and there are so few of them about now, it's quite hard to put a price on them anyway. So why did I pick a CRX? Well, about 15 years ago I used to work in Halfords and one of my colleagues had a bright green VTi, and I always liked that, and I just always fancied one. This little opportunity gave me a chance to meet one of my heroes and find a Del Sol VTEC. And have I met a hero? Well, it's a bit too early to say. It's 158 horsepower, or so it says, but I'm not convinced it's performing to the best of health. Did you hear VTEC kicks in? There it goes! Oh, it's quick. It is quick, it is quick. Maybe I'll take it back. But you do have to work it hard to get there, but it's very rewarding when you do. I think with some light improvements, a little bit of tweaking, we'll make a good car of this one.
First, and perhaps most importantly on the Honda, was a leaking VTEC solenoid. I'll let Jeff talk you through the repair.
So, to remove it, undid these wiring plugs and then tackled the 3 bolts that hold it to the block. With it out and on the bench, I could give it a good look and a good clean up. So I set to it with a little wire brush just to get in all the nooks and crannies, make sure it was all nice and clean. First job was to unbolt this top part using the 3 bolts here, and then with the bolts removed, I could pull away the top part to expose the gasket. Now just be careful not to lose this part here because that's quite important. It was time to prise out the gasket. Just got a little screwdriver behind it or a pick, gently lifting it out, trying not to scratch or score anything. To clean up where the gasket sits, I just used an old toothbrush as I didn't want to make any scoring marks or anything on it. Just making sure it was all nice and clean and there was nothing in the channels that might affect how the gasket sits. And back to the top part, withdraw the gasket, and again, just cleaning up behind it. And with that out, I could put the new gasket in place. Just pushes home, all nice and easy. And here's the top part of the solenoid, all bolted back on and in place. Now to deal with the main body gasket. Now I'm using a genuine Honda gasket for both of these parts. Just slot it in place like we did before, just making sure it's home and sat nicely in the channels. Just before bolting it back in place, I made sure that the area where it bolts to on the block was all nice and clean and the oil leaks were all gone. And there we go, all bolted back in, wired up, and no more leaks. Job done. So now for one of the more fun jobs. Now when we got the CRX, I was a bit upset to see that it didn't really have the VTi boot spoiler on it. Now I know this is a very nice tailgate with no holes in, and they're actually quite sought after, but for me, being a VTi, it really needs the spoiler. So, and as luck would have it, the previous owner still had it and was happy enough to donate it to the project. So a proper VTi spoiler in the correct Captiva blue. The only thing now is to fit it and drill new holes without getting it in totally the wrong place. So wish us luck. Now to help with the spoiler positioning, there are actually these holes already on the inside skin of the boot lid. So really, providing you get a hole in exactly the middle, you shouldn't be able to get the spoiler in the wrong place because they're on both sides. Now, this washer here is my neat idea of being able to centralize the hole so I can put a punch in the bottom here and see it on the outside skin. So yeah, just a penny washer, a bit of double-sided tape, and just cut round like that. And then I can stick it up. So hopefully that idea will work. So just gonna center punch these holes now. With the pimples now evident on the outskin of the boot lid, I've just marked them with a Sharpie pen here and here. And with this template I cunningly made earlier, I can see if the holes are in the right place. They are bang on. Yeah, looking good. And there we go. Pilot holes drilled. Okay, so I've just put some masking tape down so I can drill the holes from the top so I don't really get any burring on the top. Quickly gone through already with a 5mm drill bit, 6mm threads. So I'll just swap over to a 6. There we go, and we're through on that one. That's good, that side, that lines up that side. I'll just put a little bit of touch-up paint around each of them to stop them from rusting. And on the spoiler, just where the gaskets come away a little bit, I do plan to make a new gasket, but for now I've just put a little bit of double-sided tape on. Some seam sealer around the threads there to stop any water from getting in. Slot it down into place. And just got to tighten it from the underside now. Just had one final check. Had a quick measure up. Everything is in the middle. Matching measurements both sides. The factory looks restored. So do you think I've spoiled my car with this spoiler? Or improved it? Let me know in the comments below. There she goes.
It's actually quick, isn't it?
It is quick.
It's not bad.
Like I said, if it wasn't for the bodywork,
It's, you know, it's good,
You
mate.
know.
I'll be fair, I've been unkind to this car. It's actually not bad. Sadly, the iffy paint and tatty bodywork were a bit beyond the time and budget constraints of this project, but we certainly enjoyed having the revvy little Honda on the fleet. What replaced it, you ask? Well, another 90s Japanese car. Stay tuned to find out what.